Where are you guys? I can't find you. Oh, there you are. Hello. This is Becky at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I'm buried in journals. I decided to pull out my journal bins, the ongoing journals. So I've got my big bin here, and then I've got the little bin that's got it started to go up instead of filling. Yeah. So this may be long, but I thought you all might like to see all of these journals. So we're going to do some journal kind of sort of flip throughs. And I'm going to get a notebook over here and I'm going to write down what the journal is, what it has in it, give a quick little description so I know what is where, and see if we can finish some of these journals up or at least work in them on a regular basis. Hi, Angie. Hi, Sophia. I'm going to set the big one down for right now, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Hi, Shannon. I don't know if you want to do a face talky talk, or if you would like me to point it down so you can see the journals. I'll probably point it down just so we can get through, but I wanted to say good morning to everybody. And so we'll start with the little journals. I'll tell you kind of if I can remember, because some of these we started a long time ago, and I am horrible about wanting to jump to the next new journal project. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, Sophia, it's an illness. I may have to set this somewhere else so we can just see. Oh, and I said I was going to write down what is what and what really needs to be. Hang on. I want another journal. This is a journal. Let's see, is this dated from 2004? But it was back when we had cable TV, and I was watching a Gardener's Diary show, and I was putting down a wish list of plants for my yard. So this is not really an art journal. This is more of a plants journal of wishing for plants from 2004, like the dwarf Italian cypress. I don't know why I need a dwarf Italian cypress. I didn't even put it. It's just a list of things that I would like to have. So maybe we'll go to the back of this and I'll do my list back to front instead. I have to hide the big pens because Tippy likes to crunch them like bones. I mean, he'll break this in half. So these are my journals. I'm kind of bare and all here. We'll see journal number 1. All right, we'll pull this off the lid. This is the creativity is where dreaming turns to doing. You can't see it, but it says, there you go. And this is really a swatch book, live show notes. This is just random, but it's got swatching in it. So those are the colored pencils I just did. And to do this, I have a stencil that has a large heart, small heart, large heart, small heart. And I just kind of put some out. And I just think it makes a really cute way to do your colors. And I've also done some of my paints. These were Americana paints that I had. And I just did little blocks of those. So this is really a swatch. So we're going to call this one the Creativity Leather because it's a leather cover. And I'm just going to say it's a swatch book. I'm just going to turn it into a swatch book. Okay. Number 2. Oh, this was part of Doodle Wash. And I stopped on apparently day 15. And they gave you something each day, Doodle Wash from May 2023. And you had to do something every day, like the fern And I had to look this up. I didn't know what an okapi was, or okapi. There's a bird of paradise. So this is the doodle wash. I like the parakeet. He turned out pretty good. So this is a denim small is doodle wash May. At least this one's from this year, 2023. And I need to finish the 16th to the 31st. So that might be something I could work on. So this is a project that needs to be finished. I started the coffee. It's drawn. I just need to do the watercolor business on it. All right, next up. Oh, this was, this only has a few pages. What was this one called though? It's a small mixed media journal. We were doing these a couple months ago. What are these called, you guys? Grid. It's a grid journal. And what do I have left to finish in here? I'm going to put you guys down because it's hard to hold these up. Hang on. There we go. A little bit farther down. Do you have a spot or a box for works in progress that need to be finished? Well, that's basically all these are. These are just journals in process. So I've got one for small and I've got one for large journals. There's 2 bins. So yeah, I don't have a place for them once they're finished. I'm only doing single sides in this, so I'm not doing this side. So we'll just flip through here. This one just needs some quotes. And I did little cats. So here's one that's not even finished or started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages is all I need to finish. To finish is 6 pages. All right, so I'm going to put the ones that just have pages that need to be finished together and maybe just separate them in my little book. These were part of one of the free courses that we just recently had the opportunity to do. And can I remember? And did I write it on the back? Of course not. So these will just get added to some journal. Well, if you want to make a list of journals that you'd like to do as I'm going along, feel free. I work in them, Angie, until they're full. Now, this one was one I started with Jerry Bellini at Recycled Parts for Art, and it is a quote book. I'm just going to put on here Recycled Parts for Art. It's a quote book. This one just needs to be finished too. So what we did is I've been stapling a little piece of wax paper back at this point. That's what I did. Or maybe not. No, this isn't the no, this isn't it. This, okay, this is, I do have a quote book for Jerry, so I'm going to leave that one there and we'll talk about it in a minute. This was the little journal I did with Anne and Carol where we were doing the little projects together. So this is the Ann and Carol journal. And what I really need to do is get with Ann and Carol and see if they want to do some more pages in this so I can fill this up. So Ann and Carol, let me know. But anyway, we did the projects together. Oh gosh, this was from August of 2022. At least this one has dates in it. But we made the journal together, and then we started filling it up, and we did the different these were the inspired by Ann and Carol hashtag inspired by journal. So we need to do some more of these inspired by, and I can do them without them if I want to, just to fill my book up, you know. So there's that. I love how this guy turned out. So the inspired by journal, and it was back in August of 2022. If anybody wants to look up on Ann and Carol's channel, these were fun. We made those with Ann. The tiles, they're really dimensional. They really added a lot to the journal. And then we did some pockets and flaps. And I need to make some things to go in the pockets and flaps. This one over here is so tight to the page, though, I don't think I can get anything. And then this one was fun, where you do the great big picture and then you cut it apart and divide it a little bit, which I thought was really cool, how it puts the black lines in it. So if you're interested in any of these pages, you need to go back and watch either on Ann or Carol's channel back in August to see these. We did the dragons. We were inspired by Janet Young and Steve Harpster, drawing dragons with numbers. So you start off with a number and then you turn it into a dragon. It was fun. And then we did some pumpkins. This one was fun. The winter scene. This was out Carol's window, if I remember right. And then I just have a few pages in this one to finish. So this is the inspired by. And now I'll show you the one I started with Jerry Bellini. Oh, so many. Oh, okay, Mary. This was the quote journal that I started with Jerry Bellini at Recycled Parts for Art. And I put these, she had us do these dimensional hearts. These are punched out hearts, and you put some embossing powders on them. So they're really shiny, and then you use different brads to put them. And then I did this all in black paper. And then I just would do, like I've got these in here. These are just painty paper backgrounds that I put in here and add a little bit extra and then put a quote on it. So this is a quote journal. And that's all this is quick backgrounds. And you can tell they stick together a little bit. I think I put Daddy Vans on this. And this was done in 2017. Sometimes I think it's good to pull out your old journals and just turn through them to get the pages to quit sticking together for a little bit. So all of these were so much fun to do. All right, so this is where I left off. And I am putting 2 to a page. And I think I went through and I cut the papers. So all I need to do is add quotes to these. So maybe I'll look through the quotes and see if I have some new ones I can add. And then I have another whole signature back here. And yeah, all of the paper, it looks like most of the papers are here. So I'll need to cut some more papers for the last half of this section here. So there's that one that I did with Jerry. And let's see. This one was done with Tanya and Lisa. And this was the tag journal. And I think, again, this is a TP roll tag journal. Done with Lisa and Tanya. And I think my plan was to put some more in it. I think I was just going to glue that in the front. And I think this one was going to be about ladies. So I was looking for images of ladies to add. So this was a, what is that called? Packing tape thing here. And then each one of these has a tag that I need to put something on. So this was going to be girls, ladies, women in quotes about women, maybe. So that's what this is. Tippy's coming through. Honey, go on. Yeah, and it's all about things ladies would do together. Like there's some teacups, and that was, again, I think it was a tape pull. I don't remember now. I think these were all from like a catalog. And I don't think I decorated any of the tags. So this one just needs some things on it. Like this one's got a couple girls, and apparently I was going to put it here and then put a quote with it. This was one of the, where we did a cutout on the toilet paper roll so that you could slide the tag in and see it. Yeah, so I need to look for some tiny images of girls and women to put in here. I might do that. And these are images I haven't used yet. They're not stuck down. So there are some images in here. So that's that one. The ladies need some cats. Yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah, it's a packing tape transfer where you put the packing tape over the image, and then you wet the back of the paper and rub all the paper away, and the ink sticks to the packing tape. So that's that one. So we need to turn the page. I haven't even got halfway through this. So what do we got here? Let's pull this one out. Okay, this is one that it's got the holes punched in it and everything. And it's got this on here. It's not put together. Lisa sent this to me of a little journal. And then this is just, it's just a journal that's not made all the way. And it was made with envelopes from you guys. So this is really a kind of a Happy Mail junk journal. Yeah, I've got my address showing in some of the pages. So yeah, this was made with the envelopes from Happy Mail, and I was going to apparently sew them together in some way. So this is just a journal that's not even made yet. I don't know what the plan was for binding it, but I wanted to include, since it's a Happy Mail journal, I'm just going to put journal number 7 is Happy Mail envelope journal. So that one will be separate. It's not, it's one that's still being made. Still in construction. That's what I'll put on here. I don't know if you guys are interested in this or not, but I thought I'd share. The kittens are doing their Indy 500 right now. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is another one that I started. This is a prompts in 5 minutes. Prompts in 5 minutes journal. So what I would do is like get Janet Nash's prompts from a Monday and try to pull everything together and then construct a page in 5 minutes or less. It is not put together here yet because what I'll do is I've been doing the pages individually, and what I'll do is I'll put them back to back on one of these flanges like this, and then just glue the whole thing together. So they're back to back. And I didn't write on the back, so I can just glue them. There's room for 2, 4, 6 of these pages. So this wasn't going to be a big journal. So that was the plan for this one. So we need to do some of these. We'll get some of Janet's Monday prompts. I've got 2 more pieces here for the next page. So I need to do 4 more pages. And then this one I can call done. Now, if I wanted to, what I could do is glue them to the flange, but leave the side open. And then I could make tags to slide down in. So it would have some other things in it. But my whole idea was to make a really quick 5-minute journal. And I didn't sign or date any of these, so I have no idea when I started this. And this was made out of some kind of bar of some sort. But you can see there's a lot of room in there. I could add a lot more to this. So I might rethink what all will go in that. So that's one that could be worked on. And this one, excuse the cat hair. Yeah, these were just done. I think we did the covers together as like a dirty dozen or something. This one I started with, this is from 2017. I actually started this one to do Stacy Pink Poodle Crafts. I was doing her, I think she did a pick 10. And then I don't know if she's still doing those or not. She's really gone to more of a sales channel. And I don't really, I can appreciate everybody wanting to make a little money, but I'm not one to go to auctions because I have so much stuff, you know. So I go for the play. So that's what this was doing. So I could technically do more pick 10s and add them. But this was the cover that I made to go in there. And this was another one where I had put big sheets in like this. These are signatures. There's a couple of them in here. And what I do is I just glue 2 pages. That's why the pages are here. I work them separate. And then I just glue them over the black piece of paper. So this is just part of the cover. This was one I did with Stacy in 2017. And then I did this one. And then I stopped. And I didn't do any more. So this is really, I'm going to put on here Pink Poodle Journal. I'll know what it means. Pink Poodle Journal. I just want to see how many journals I have here. And I just need to do more pick 10. So this is really a pick 10 journal. There we go. So we know where to grab a sheet and we'll do a page and I'll stick it in here. All right, next. I made a bunch of these and this was a poster. I bought a bunch of posters. Poster journal. And I made these and I gave a bunch of these away. So some of you have these bird journals. Good morning, Ann Makes. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Shannon. Mary said she had to go. Sophia's here. Hi, Melody. Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody else? Angie and Joyce. I think that's everybody that's here that said something in the chat. If you're here lurking, welcome. You bought a big bag of marble dust. Yeah, oh, I remember when she was selling the marble dust to make gesso. This is the one I gave away a bunch, and I think this has more quotes in it. Yep. I love quotes, can you tell? So this is really another quote journal. It's done Midori style with the rubber band, but it's meant to be quotes. So I'll just put quotes. And it's for writing quotes. It's not for doing any art in. It's just a place for me to dump quotes. So that really needs to go in a place of its own. This one's one in process. I'm going to put the two quote journals together. One is more of an art and quotes, and one is just to write the quotes down. I forgot I had that. So there you go. Number 11 is, I have no clue. Oh, this is my Gina journal. Gina Ahrens was doing this technique of color study. And I love this. It's where you take some images like this from magazines where somebody else has already done the color combinations for you. Then you go into your own supplies and you find the colors. So, and then you put a little swatch of each of those colors. And as you're putting the colors down to make these on a scrap, create a stamp of some sort. I made a little strip so I could just dip it in all the paints and then stamp it down. So all of these colors are kind of represented in my stamped strip here. Gina used a piece of corrugated, I think, if I remember right, but I just made a little stamp. I think the stamp is supposed to be in here. But I don't see it. But I'll just show you. So again, you take images with similar colors, put them together, go into your stuff and make a little swatch. Say what it is. So if you run out of a color and you can't find it in your stash, you have this list of colors that kind of went in here. And then again, I did this. That's what my stamp looks like. If I can find it, it's just on a little strip of cardboard. I hope I still have it. So I'd like to do more of these. And these were done with my Xyron sticker maker. And I had accidentally bought one that does lamination. So these have like a plastic coating over them. I need to get some more of that for my machine. These are just fun to do where you put the magazine pictures, then do your stash. This one I haven't finished, but I've got all the colors written down so I can go back and find them to do my little strip piece. But you can see kind of the technique. And Gina has this on her page too. From, let's see, let me see if any of these are dated. Of course not. So if you maybe just do color study search and maybe it'll pop up. And you can see where I've done the pictures. So I just need to go through my paints and try to find the colors that go with them and do the swatches and the stamp off. So I've done a lot of these. That one I need some more pictures to go with it. But this is a fun way to learn colors. Hi, Susan. So I'd like to do that. So this is more like, should go with the swatch book. So we'll put that together with the swatch book. Okay. Now this one was a calendar that I picked up, and I was going to do, let me do number 12. This is the cat calendar book. Callie, you can get behind the curtain right there. Okay? You're behind the curtain now. Now you want to come out from the curtain. Hello. But what I did is I started coloring, painting out everything except the name of the cat and the cat. And I was thinking of putting, and it's going to be, it's a cat calendar journal. So basically I need to go through here and finish painting out the back. I think I was using something like buttermilk or what was the other color that I really liked? Buttermilk or vintage something. I don't know. See, that one I need to go over again. This is a ragdoll cat, calico cat. I want the calendar to be more gone. And then I was going to find quotes about cats and just put them in here. Really hadn't planned to do anything with this side, but what I could do is put painty paper over that page. Devon Rex, Persian, tuxedo. We have a tuxedo, and that's it. So these are all mostly painted out. I need to go over some of them. So this is one that's still in process. Number 13. This is a Canson Green book. And this is my gnome book. This is my Gnome book. This one we'll do a flip through because it's been a while since I got to look at them. So I want to look at my gnomes. But this right here, I was doodling along with Mary one Friday night, I think. Doodles with Mary on Friday, August 30th, 2019. But then these are like art doll ideas that I was just kind of sketching out of just art dolls. Art dolls can be any shape. They can be realistic. They could be quirky. So I was just playing. And then this is Montana Rabbit, part of Mary's story. And I drew that in here. But then I started with the gnomes. And I drew her for Christmas one year, 2019. But then it just turned all gnomes after this. And I just love my little gnomies. And we're naming them. This is Boris, Belfazar, Grandin, Maurice. But this is when I started doing my little gnomes, and I really started developing my own technique to do gnomes. So as they go, they become characters of their own. And Ruth Lamb said, when you see one of Becky's gnomes, you know exactly who drew it. Everybody has their own way of doing it. Diary of a Cat is hilarious. I'll have to look for that. All right. I see Safia says she has a bunch of them. Hello, Darla. Well, I have, I used to be scheduled Wednesdays at noon. And then at one point I did Wednesday evenings. But right now I've been taking a break from doing lives. So I don't technically have a scheduled time to go live. Hi, Gail. So I'm doing impromptus now until I finish the dresses. I have 1.5 dress done. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with that, I'm doing dresses for Project Dress a Girl, and I have just 1.5, not even a half to do. I just need to do shoulder seams and a hem on a dress that the second dress I made yesterday. So yeah, Project Dress a Girl, or Dress a Girl Around the World is actually what the website says. But these are my gnomes from 2019. And this is Beatrice. I love Merlin. My Merlin gnome, I love him. He's so cute. And Nicholas, Joshua or Josh. And I did him sitting on a mushroom. But you can definitely tell mine have developed into where I have my own way of doing gnomes. They look like country folk. And I love her. She turned out so cute. I like to give them high cheekbones and shiny eyes. And there's the twins. Those are his nostrils. Those aren't his eyes. Upside down, it looks like I've drawn eyes at the bottom. He's got holy socks on that he's patched. And then I really like Ruby here. She turned out pretty good. I love him. Look at his toes. I think I did a really good job on his hippie toes. I ought to scan him and make some cards. That would be cool. And she just needs color. He needs color. And then I colored these. So I'm an original. I'm so basic, it says. All right. So this just needs to be filled up with gnomes. So he's another one that needs to be finished. Journal number 14. And oh, this one's more of a daily journal. It does have a gnome in it. But this is from Lucia. It's a brown leather. This needs to be somewhere besides with my art journals. This is more of a daily journaler. Not art. It may get some doodles in it. But this one needs to go with my writing journals. So we'll take that one out. Sorry. This one. Oh my word, what were we doing here? Oh, this is a found relatives. 14, number 15. 15 was a Barb Owen found relative. This needs just a cover. Oh, this one needs the story behind the characters. And Barb showed us this method where I don't even remember. One sheet you cut in from the ends to here, and the other you cut the center out, and then they slide together. So you create a book. And then we did found relatives, and I was trying to do a story. And I was going to write in that this was made with Barb Owen and everything. And of course, it's not dated, so I don't remember when we did this. But this is the method where you drop the watercolor down and then you create a face out of it. She looks kind of ill. She's got her story there. I'm not going to read the stories. But this was a found relative. And it looks like we named all of them, but I just need to write their story, whatever their story tells me it wants to be. I have a finished found relative somewhere else. This one, they just need their story. Need stories and cover. And I could just add the stories some other time. So this is just, I don't know what to do with it. This somebody else made for me. I don't know if I've done anything in it yet. Jasper made this. And it's made with cards and paper. And she's got some ATCs mixed in. So this just needs to go somewhere to be used as a journal. And I need to somehow put a pocket in there to hold Jasper's little ATCs. So this one could really go with this Happy Mail journal because they're both kind of the same thing, but they need to go somewhere besides my art journal bucket. This was a project we did together. Oh, that was journal 16 was a Jasper junk journal. I could use that one to just journal in and fill it up. This one was to be a recipe card book, recipes. And I've got these all fixed to put in here. I just need to write some recipes on it. That's the pineapple cheese ball. My mother-in-law's mac and cheese. I think what I was going to do is put our family favorites in here. And this was going to be a giveaway. So once I get the some more family favorites put in here, I'll do a giveaway for this one. Number 17 is a recipe journal to give away. So I'll have this to give away. Needs recipes. And I'm just putting our very favorite recipes in here. My mother-in-law's mac and cheese is delicious. And her pineapple cheese ball. Maybe I'll do my mother-in-law's recipes and that we use all the time. So that might be what that is. So this is to be a giveaway. Oh, this is a ATC that I did. I'm going to set this aside because in September we're going to do an autumn journal together. Not Halloween, autumn. So if you have a bunch of autumnal stuff, if you could pull them all together, we'll be doing an autumn journal. I'll set this aside to add to a box. Oh, excuse the cat hair. Cat hair, where does that come from even? So this is art journals. I'm going to put the art journals back in here. I'm going to set the recipe thing aside. So the journals, these are like swatches. I'll put them at the back, and then my gnome journal, and then everybody else will go back in here. Some of these just need to be finished. Some need to be relocated. These are my quote journals. I do want to finish the inspired by journal. And the women, I need to find little images of women to finish that tag journal. So that cleans that box up to this. Okay. Oh, we didn't talk about this one. If I remember right, this is an Inktober. I think. Yeah, it's Inktober 2016. I just need to do the cover And I need to do a rec and a friend. On the back of this, I need to do friend. And then it said rec was the word. But this was Inktober 2016. 18 is Inktober. Why do I do that? 2016. It needs 2 pages finish. 2 pages plus cover needs to be covered. And because I think I did these all in just a Bic pen, so they're only black and white. So I'll do a black and white cover. These were fun to do. Yeah, these were just done with a Bic pen. That's an easy finish. So I might finish that up, and then it can go live with the finished journals in a box somewhere. All right, so I don't know. Do you guys want to continue with the big box? Are you ready? Yeah, I know. We all get excited about the new toy. Now, this is my big bin. I'll start with this. This is a cat journal. Cat journal with images. Cat images only. So I'll show you what this is. I've got a bunch of calendars, cut out a magazine. Anytime I come across a cat, I cut it out, I throw it in here. And I made this journal using scrapbook papers I probably would never use for anything else. I just put them all together, and I did this the same method as Barb did the found relatives, where you cut up a certain amount of space, and then on the next page you cut the middle portion out, and then you slide them together. So that's how this was made. And then once I got it all put together, I just ran some really cool looking duct tape down it. And then this is kitty quotes were going to be on the cover. So I got Kitty Garden, inside every cat lives the spirit of the wild. See the cat she was born to be. Didn't put anything on the back yet. And all I'm doing is, that's a note from Janet. Not sure why I stuck it in there, Janet, but I did. But see, I've just been going through and sticking cat images down on the page. And my plan was just to fill the pages up with cats and maybe journal in it. But more than anything, I just wanted it to be for cat stuff, because I was getting a lot of cat stuff sent to me, and I said, I can just make a journal that's nothing but cats. And some of these have some stickiness too. Feline paralysis. So that was the plan. And this is for big cats, little cats, any kind of cats. So you have house cats, you have wild cats. And I was trying to put the same kind of colors together. So like a bunch of orange cats. But that was the plan for this book. And this method is a binding that Barb showed us. They lay flat, so you can work on it really quite easily. I'm sure if this got flipped a lot, it would get to a point where it would fall apart. But yeah. Ooh, that's a big cat. Big cats, small cats, little cats, large cats, cats on paper. I just would pick a random place and stick things down. And you can see I still have a bunch of cats. But this is one of those things I have to be in the mood for because I don't like my fingers getting sticky. I know that sounds weird, but tactilely, I don't like glue. I just don't like it. So that's that one. All right. This shouldn't be in here, but this is Create Your Life Book. And I started it in this folder here. The first lesson, if I remember right, is this butterfly, but I wanted to do a bumblebee. So my first one was the bumblebee, and I was going to do them all this size and then create a journal of them. So this is really more of working my way through this book. And this is by Tamara Laporte. I was going to do this, so I need to finish this, but it doesn't need to be with my art journals. It needs to be more with like maybe a daily or weekly, once a week, pull this out and do a lesson until I get it done. Oh dear. So I'm going to set that aside. All right. What's in here? Summer of 2021. This was when we made the summer journal. So all of this just needs to be relocated. It doesn't need to be in my journal pile anymore. So this just needs, all this needs to find new home. I'm going to set that over here. I'm not even going to write that down because that just needs to go somewhere else. It probably got shoved in there. This is the guide sheet I keep with my journals on how to do the slip knot binding that Tanya showed us how to do. I just keep that with my journals. This is, I'm going to call this the hospital journal. This is one of the books I got when I had my procedures done. I had an umbilical hernia repair and a colonoscopy. And you get one of these books from the hospital every time you go in. Is JL here? Hi, Janice. Janice, I wanted to let you know that it's not just you having trouble getting into the crafting chat. Ruth is having trouble. She said she's had trouble since the flood she had. So she said what happens, Ruth said what happens is when she goes to enter the room, as soon as she enters the room, her whole computer gets shut down and she has to restart. So there's that. Hi, Mitts. So what I'm doing in here is I'm just putting projects I've done on big pieces of paper. So this was the page we did with Mary of the guy that talks, and he's got candy canes and Santa in his mouth. We did this in 2018. And then we did the little pair of scissors. So anytime I make something that's really big, my plan is to go put it in here. This was a watercolor I did 2019. But my plan was to put that in here. And I just gessoed and did a little stenciling just to put something on the pages. Hello, Spring. I don't remember when I did this or who I did it with, but it was March 2019. Lori Richards sent me this one. I think we were doing these with Beth. I remember doing the blue cow with Beth. I remember that. That was 2019. But you see, I did it on a big piece. And so this book from the hospital worked perfect. I think this, I don't remember when I did what I did this with. but it's big, so it'll go in here. And I'm just going to glue them in here. But that was the plan for this. So anytime I do something big, this has all my pre-surgical instructions. And 4/29/2016 is when I had that done. Oh, this was the umbilical because they had to give me antibiotic 90 minutes prior to start. So that's what this is for. The hospital journal is for big art. So anytime I do a big art, let me tell you what big art means. Anything about 12 by 9 by 12. Big art, 9 by 12. I'll put that on here so I know. All right. So we can put these like this, and I'll put them back in the bin. Next up is the border journal. And this is really, really old. Gosh. I don't know if I dated anything. I need to fuss at myself because we need to date our stuff. 2019. I think we need to work in this some. So we were doing, I had it right the first time. Doggone it. This way. And we flipped through this before. And it's only on this side because the paper is really cheap. See, we could maybe pull this out and do some of this in our autumn journal. I'm just going to put a note here. Utilize for autumn journal. Maybe we'll make our own borders. And this will give us some ideas. Because we got owls and feathers and squirrels and that kind of thing in here. And then I just did some standalone practice on the different things. So we need to work in this more. These I never added color to them. I started putting this in between because the markers, because I was using super tips to color these. And we started doing alphabets. So let's see what's left in here. There's still quite a bit of area to do. So we need to work on borders again. Oh, next, what is this? It says canceled stamps, but that's not what this is. This is just stickers. Oh, and the little pictures. You want to see a young us? It's a very tiny picture. Let me see. This is a very young all of us. My hair used to be brown, and Scott used to have hair. I got the mini printer when Barb Owen was showing hers, and I couldn't get the one that she had, but I got this one so I could do little tiny prints. If I remember right, these sides break off. No, these are stickers that I can just peel off and stick in, but they're pictures of the cats, of course, and flowers and a sunset and the cat that I did. And then there's some copies of these are just stickers. Okay, these need to go with journaling type stuff. So I'll set that aside. That didn't even belong in there. Oh, this is number 22. I hope I wrote in here what this was about. It's a syllabus journal. And it needs more work. It needs more done in it to finish it up. And I started doing it on a single page, but what happened is it was bleeding through, and Tanya said she didn't have that much problem. This cover here, this is just a composition book, and I've roughed it up with sandpaper, and then I used I think texture paste to put some of the design down, but I've used the crackle stuff on it, so it makes it look like leather. It feels crunchy, and you can still see some of the composition book. This is one of those that was graph paper, and I've just used, I think, a gold rub and buff on it too. It's been a while, but I do like the sound of this, but I was having bleed through issues, so I started gluing 2 pages together. I think that one's still a single. Yeah, this is where I started gluing 2 pages together. And I was doing, I think the theme of this one was growth, whether that meant plant growth or personal growth. That's what I was putting in here. This was my alien that I had drawn on my drop paper, which I don't have drop paper down right now because I haven't been doing any wet media, because wet media and sewing don't mix. And I was talking about trying to go vegan in here. But it's that syllabus style. There's a book. I have it over there. You kind of divide the page up and you do different things. I really like it. It really adds a lot of interest to it. I drew these mandalas or mandalas or whatever. All about vegetables. I was into it. And there's another on the phone doodle. And sometimes I didn't put a lot of words on the page. I just filled the space up with doodles. I think she was a doodle. And then glued down because I can feel the edge. This is one of my favorite pages with the sunflowers. So sunflowers needs to be part of our autumn file. Now these were pages that I did with Tanya and Lisa. And I was going to do the book project that the fairy journal pages, but my brain moved on, so I just put them in here. Sometimes you start a project and it sounds inspirational and you want to do it, but then you lose interest part way. So I would like to do some more of this type journal, and it got to be another kind of quote journal. This was all about the painted rocks, and these are the rocks that I actually did and dropped around on the walkway. And this takes place in November. November 13th is World Kindness Day, to leave the positive rocks around, and I need to paint some of those. I started printing quotes off and then pulling the colors from this into my artwork. 2022 inspiration. I can't remember what that was for. I've got a list of words that go with these days. I think I was drawing them. So, yeah. And then I got notes from people in here. This is kind of I call it the syllabus journal, and then it's migrated into quotes and notes from you guys. Linda Berry, yes. All right. What's this next thing? Oh, this is this doesn't need to go with my journals either. This was a cabinet I wanted Scott to build me to hold fabric. So I could have, like, seasonally, I could put the fabrics I want to sew up into this. But this needs to go with my build dreams. I'll put that over here. It needs to go somewhere else. Next journal is this cheapy one. It's just a sketchbook. Number 23 is the black sketch. And this is just me playing from 1999. That's supposed to be a cardinal. Yep, the hubby to-do list. This was in 2000. I did this kind of very bright lily for some reason. Didn't date that one. I taped it off. It's interesting. Not sure where it came from. This was some kind of weird sketch. Don't ask me. It was 23 years ago. I don't know. Practicing lines and movement. If you want to get muscle memory, just do a whole page of random marks. And that way your muscles will get used to moving around. Weird things. That looks interesting. I think I just divided the page up and was doodling. My cousin Heather and I did this in high school. And we would just draw and divide the page up. And then we would swap out between classes. And so she would doodle on it during a class and I would doodle on hers during a class. And then we'd switch between classes and then we'd doodle. We were horrible. I guess we weren't paying attention. But this gave my mind something to do. And I still got pretty good grades. But by the end of the day, after eight periods, 8 classes, we'd have it filled up. Practicing shading and creating a shadow for this. I think it was a pepper mill. Again, this was back when I wasn't dating anything. Jelly beans and tea. This is my mom, jelly beans and tea. She would do this every day, jelly beans and tea back then. Practicing with colored pencils, just random. Another weird flower from the year 2000, 23 years ago. I've come a long way. I had gotten a calligraphy pen and I had started trying to do the calligraphy. And Dee Dee always says, practice, 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 you'll get better. The man in the wilderness said to me, "How many strawberries grow in the sea?" I answered him as I thought good. I have no idea. And this is my baby. I was trying to do a baby picture we have of him. He was sitting at a little piano. I remember I got the picture done at Sears. This was in 2000. So 23 years ago, I was trying to sketch my own child. It's not very good, but I think I could probably do better now. A pitcher and a plate. Just felt the need to do it, I guess. Goldfish, betta fish, maybe. I have no idea what's going on with this page. So this is just a random sketch page. And I think right here I was working out a pattern for how I wanted the legs shaped and the ears. So this may have turned into, I don't know what. It could be a quilt pattern because I could do the basic shapes and layer this up. So I'm thinking that's what this is because I think these were supposed to be eggs for Easter. That one would be a really cute quilt. I was quilting then. Practicing a grid. Yep, these were going to be quilt designs that I was working on. Exactly. That's what those were. So that's what this is. This is just, we need to sketch more. Sketch more. Maybe I'll pull that picture out of Greg and try again. This was one of those several different types of paper. Is it Dina Wakley? Is it Dina Wakley that put these out? Or this might have been the Michaels copycat, because I bought this when I worked at Michaels. But it's got a piece of canvas here, lace, corrugated. I don't think I've done very much in here. So number 24 is the mixed paper journal. But we could do like a dirty dozen in here just on a random page. This was, Barb was working in a book kind of like this. So I said, well, I have one similar. I'll do a page in that. So this was the first time I did a roll of Picasso, and it was with Barb Owen. And I kind of like how creepily it turned out. And I didn't write down what I did where or who I did this with, but it turned out pretty cool. And this is a die cut, and this was a image from a magazine. I've got crackle effect on here. I love crackle effect. I need to look up how to do it with glue. I took every home ec and art class I could in high school. I was misdirected in high school. I should have took all Regents classes, and Regents exams happen in New York State. It's for those headed toward college, but I didn't have any direction. My grandmother was in her 60s by that point, by the time I got to high school, and she had no clue because she had an eighth grade education, if that. So I got misdirected, and I didn't want to take the hard classes. I chickened out on the hard stuff. So I just took every home ec, every art class I could sign up for and still get the basics to graduate done. That's what I did. So yeah, I did that. If I'd had better direction, maybe. Oh, this was one we did with Barb too, I think. But that's done on burlap. So this is a piece of faux leather that I just randomly cut this out and glued it down. But we just need to do some we need to do mixed media paper. We need to do prompts in this, and so I can fill this up. Prompt games. So maybe we'll do that coming up. This one, I don't know what you'd call this pattern. I'm just going to do black with white grid pattern, white pattern, just so I can kind of know what it is. Yeah. By the time I came along in 1964, my grandmother was 52 years old. My mom was like 17, and my grandma had 9 children, and my mom was her only daughter. And if I'd been a boy, I definitely would have been put up for adoption. But because I was a girl, Grandma wanted me. So she said she would take me in. And so that's how I ended up being raised by Grandma. But, you know, I was raised a generation and a half behind my peers. So I had a whole different perspective on life. Lattice, thank you. In the red cold, you're new to me. I'm going to write that on here so I remember. Thank you. But this one, what were we making? We were making something, you guys. It's a box. A big box, the tiny lid, a small box. We were making boxes. This is guidelines for boxes. This is a list of all about fabrics, opening This is a warehouse store in South Carolina for fabrics that's in Williamston, South Carolina. They're only open the first 3 days, the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the beginning of each month. But this was the 2019 calendar. Group addresses. These are prompts. So we could do these. We could do these prompts one day, 1 through 54. This is Artist Loft gouache paints. This needs to go in the swatch book that's over here. That takes care of that. This was somebody's, we were doing a swap. Dawn Andres, Elise, Jennifer, Dawn. I have no idea. That can go in the trash. We were making a box there. And let's see. Oh, goodness. This was some watercolors I wanted to try. Oh, this was all on. This is notes on videos I wanted to do and quilts I wanted to do. I think this was my planner for my YouTube channel. You can see how well I've used that. Oh, look, there's the instructions for the vintage hedgehog pincushion. And that tape did not hold. Oh, well, that was a fabric tape. We were doing a rack swap of painty papers. Yeah, that's what this is. This is all stuff we did. Okay, so this is really kind of a number. This one is kind of a planner. Planner for YouTube. That doesn't need to go with the. That doesn't need to go with the actual journals. That needs to find a new home. That needs to be more with like daily journaling and planning. Journal 26. And yes, I have a lot of stuff shoved in here. These are the recipes that you guys sent in for my little cookbook journal. And why I have another copy printed off, I have no idea, because I've already put all of those in that journal. Now this is a flow journal. Flow journal that I think Linda T sent me. We did a swap. So this we just need to, here it is. Let me see. Yep, Linda T from 2019. So the Flow journal is just like the Flow magazine. We swapped these. I don't know if you guys still have that participated in this, if you guys still have yours. But she just put together a bunch of really cool stuff in here. Maybe I'll go through this and pull the stuff out that reminds me of autumn and put it to use. I ended up getting 2 of these, this large one and a smaller one. And the smaller one I put in my to-go art bag. So like if we're traveling and I want to take something to do art when we're in downtime, I have it with me. Maybe this fall we'll do some walkabouts and do art in parks and stuff. And I'll just do videos. But this has got all kinds of paper. She's put little charms here and there. Little ballerina. Oh, calendar tickets. I need to sit down and just go through this. And I'll pull out the stuff that's autumnal, and we'll get to using this stuff up that Linda was so sweet to send me. She really did a great job. I feel like I let everybody down that I sent to, because mine weren't this awesome. So this doesn't really need to go with the art journals either. This needs to go more with supplies. Oh my goodness gracious. And the journals just go on forever. Number 27. Now this one's this is another black sketchbook. Black sketch. So it needs to go with this one. So I have two sketchbooks. This one has got some pictures I've done that. Oh, I've been putting faces in here. This was going to be my black sketch, but this was going to be faces. And I was going to do nothing but faces in here. And so I've been collecting vintage images. Picture of Marilyn Monroe from a magazine, some magazine images. So these are just a pile of faces. I'm not going to pull those out, but I'll show you the ones I've done. That's not a face. That's not a face. This was my jar of memories where we hiked. We went for a hike. I can't remember where it was now. I should have wrote that down there. I think it's on the jar. And I just collected some little pieces of bark and a tiny little pine cone, and I put them in a jar. And I said, yay, I've kept that from 2018. Now, this was just a sketch out of my head. It wasn't using a picture. And that I used a picture. His proportions are way off. But he was fun to do. And then I started doing more faces. He's just from my imagination too, but I love him. I think he needs a saxophone and some really cool tie-dye. So hi, Kathy. Yeah, I've been on a long time. I'm trying to go through these journals so I know what I have where. I love her. She just looks so happy. Don't ask me why I put the blue in there, but it kind of works. I was on a blue kick, apparently. And see, the more you practice, the better it gets. At least I think these are getting better as you go through the book. And then I practiced some eyeballs. I have a book on faces, and I was practicing angry eyes, surprised eye, all that kind of stuff. I was practicing. This is supposed to be Agatha Christie, but the proportions again are off. This is the lead pencil criminal, just from descriptions that were coming through the story with Mary. That was a Mary story. I swatched out some metallic pencils, practiced some more eyeballs. Now this lady, I think I did really good on. This was the magazine image. That's a black and white version of her. And that's mine. So I think I did pretty good. I love her eyes. I think I did really good on her eyes. And I used the markers that Scott had gotten me for Christmas one year. Oh, bye, Sophia. But those markers bleed through bad, see? And then I was doing animal eyes. Do y'all remember the animal eyes? I was going to try to do 100 animal eyes. And so I got an alpaca and an alligator and a cat and a Dick Dirk. Dick Dirks are a really cool little animal. If you look it up, it's DIK-DIRK. They're like a tiny deer, but their eyes look so cool. Chimpanzee, a goat, a cow, a chinchilla, an owl, a fence fox, a dog, and a zebra. And then I quit doing eyes. Practicing a little bit on some mouths. Another Agatha Christie, I think. That guy in the back, that's it. All right, so this is my faces journal. So I'm going to put the two black sketchbooks together. I don't want to put a lot of weight on that end because it's it won't be pretty. This is the journal I just created. Handmade journal by me using a rescued Goodwill Bins painting by Jay Coleman and some thrifted pads and some sheets from pads I bought myself. Papers include drawing, mixed media, canvas, and watercolor. So I'm just using papers that I had thrifted, and I made this journal up. And then this was in this year. I just did this one. This is a mandala I did, and I stuck it in here. And then that was the drawing of the lily we did with Barb Owen. This was a prompt game, if I remember right. And then we haven't done any more. So this is just all kinds of paper. So this journal needs to be worked on after this one is finished. So these are for this is a rescued painting journal, rescued canvas. And it needs to be for prompts or art together. So these two need to be the journals that we work on together. Let's see. Next. This, I was doing mood boards. 29 mood boards with Peg Robinson, Peg R, and Shell C. What is their group? What's Peg's group, you guys? Oh, hi, Del Lobo. Good morning. I'm getting to see people I haven't seen in ages, so I'm kind of glad I did this. I'm sorry I'm not catching everything in chat. I am glancing up every once in a while, trying to catch it. Oh, Auntie's here too? Hang on, let me check. I've missed somebody. I'm sorry. Yes, Art of Sharing. Thank you, Kathy. Art of Sharing. They do a mood board, and what it is exactly what you see here. And they do one for each month, and they have images with like what I did with Gina, and then you do an image. And this one, there was guidelines to these. Oh, this was the Art Joy of Sharing Weekly Challenge. Week 1 was American folk art, and this was the challenge. And they have the prompts here. So that was my American folk art picture. And then this one was Latino folk art. So they were doing a folk art thing. And each one had prompts. If you're not part of Art Joy of Sharing, I wish you'd go and join because they do a lot of fun things together. This one was primitive printing and mark making. This one was fun to do. If you haven't seen Shell's video on this, Shell and Peg were doing videos together, and it's fun to watch them together because you can see the different styles between the two ladies. And I really enjoyed this page a lot. And then this one here, she's a magazine image that I've added additional paint so she looks more like me. Matriarch or fertility goddess. And so I put all of these positive words about a strong woman on it. And then that was the November mood board from 2022. And this was the monthly challenge, geometric. So geometric. And then I've got additional paper here to do more of these. And my plan was, once I'd done all of the things, I was going to bind them together. So I need to get back and look and see what the mood board is like and see if they've got any challenges up. I know Shell's going through some things right now, but Peg's been putting up videos. So Art Joy of Sharing is a fun Facebook group. If I can remember, I'll put a link in the description box. So that's just another thing I was participating with a group with. These random bits just need to be shoved into the cat journal bag. I'll put those in before I put it back in. This is my Pick 10 journal. And I think I only need a couple more of these. We need to do these so I can just, and what I do is I do the Pick 10 on the front and I do the list on the back and who I did them with. This was a weird day with Janet Nash. I could do the prompts with anybody and they don't have to necessarily be Pick 10. Love that one. So I wanted to do all of these up to fill my book. So we just need to do more in here. I did this actual cover was one of those craft notebooks. And I did this Pick 10 with Lisa where she was gluing stuff to. It's very textured because this is a real doily, a crochet doily glued down here. This is trim glued down. All of this texture you see is lace and stuff glued down and then gessoed over and then add paints and sprays and stuff. So this one and these two are all game books. So those need to go toward the front so I can pull them out. I'm just going to put Pick 10 journal or game book. I don't know which one it is. 31. We've been on for how long now? An hour and a half. And I'm not done. This, I think, was sent to me by Janet Baum. And or was it? Janet, did you send this to me? Yes, because it's the wallpaper. These are wallpaper books. So I could use these like this, or I could use these as the flow journal and pull things out of here and create with them. I'm not sure what the intention was for them, if this was to be a journal to use or to use it as a flow, but I'm going to use it as an either or, and I'm going to put it with the flow journal that Linda T sent me. So those two. Oh, okay. This was a glue book sent to me by Caged Fish, Carla. And this is a note from Carla. This is my Caged Fish journal. I'll just put Caged Fish. And it's meant to do collage in. So this is just one I need to glue in. This is a glue book. It's a glue book. And glue books are hard for me because I don't like my fingers getting sticky. But I did try to start doing a few pages here and there. But this was made by Caged Fish. And it's meant to be a glue book. So it could go along with the cat book, the journal that I have there. Oh my word, you guys. Let's just do these. This is another one that's not for art. This is another one that's to journal life in. So I'm going to move it out of there. Mixed media. Oh my goodness. This Society of Idea Collectors, part of week 5 of Society of Idea Collectors homework. This was Dee Dee homework book, but you know what? This could be turned into anything at this point because obviously I'm not continuing it. It's like I left space for the other assignments. This we did with Kyla Give Hand when, wasn't it? Yeah, Barb Owen and Kyla Good Hand. Yeah, we did these prompts with her, with Barb Owen one week. So basically this could be another game book if we want it to be. This is another SOIC. I've got 2 SOIC books. The Society of, I don't remember what SOIC, Society of Idea Collectors. And that's what this was. And this is lists and quotes. So these 2 were for that. But I just don't do it. I don't do that. What is this? This is another write-in journal. Okay. This, I have no idea. The little cows are cute. That's a card from Kathy Whitney. These postcards, one of y'all sent them to me. These are cards from you guys. That's from Shannon. Oh, it got bent. These don't belong in there either. It's a ATC by Shannon. There. Oh, there's an ATC from Shannon. It's cards from you guys. That's from Beth. This right here was from Janet Nash, and she said that this was part of her mom's collection. It's one of the trifolds here, but it's got a cat on it, so I'm going to put it with the cat journal thing. And then this is a little folder from one of you guys. See if you've got this. This is from Renee. So this is from Renee. And it's got, oh, look at the cats. Renee. Ray D here. Oh, those are cute. But these are basically cards from you guys. They don't need to be with the art journals. I'm going to put the ATCs back in here. We'll stick those over there. We're almost done. Some of these could be moved to the little journals. All right, give me just a sec. I'm going to put the society. Oh, look, there's my stamp for the Gina project. All right. Sketchbooks, Society for Idea Collector stuff. I'm going to put the ones that we're going to work in together at the front. That's weird. That was in the bottom. And I need to put the cat images in the cat bag here. All right, so now I kind of know what I have where, sort of, kind of. All right. This little journal we made with Barb Owen. It was the positive word alphabet. So each double spread has something that is positive. And you're supposed to put words. That could be a fun swap, is we could send each other positive words, like in just a small, just do up small, like an art. Maybe we'll do that together, and then you could just scan it off. There's a picture of Callie. She's so pretty. So that's another one that needs to be 33. Alphabet journal. I never did make the cover for it, but I enjoyed painting the pages. I might put that one over in the little book container. And this needs to go with the book. What does the Gina book look like? Did I write down a description? It's in the small. So I'm going to put that in the small container. Random pieces of paper. They're different kinds. I'm going to put them just under my desk right here. Because I reach under here for little pieces. Like if I sit in here and somebody's doing something and I just randomly want to join in, I have some little pieces all ready to go up under here, under my flower press. Okay. Ooh, Shrinky Dinks. I might leave the Shrinky Dinks in there just so I know where they are. Okay. This one. Oh, I know what this is. This is the Tanya Little Journal. Tanya Little Journal that I was doing with her on Sundays. And I would catch her sometimes before we left back for Greenville. I don't think there's much left in here that needs to be finished. These were fun to do with Tanya. Just doing a sort of flip through here. But Tanya had sent out a bunch of these little journals. That one says, be nice or go away. Oh no. Here we go. And she had all kinds of paper in here. Is this one finished? And I'm just keeping it out for some other reason? This needs to go with the finished journals, I think. Oh, I did finish it. Okay, well, this one needs to go in the back with the finished journals. Well, how about that? I found a finished one. So I'm going to cross that off because it's finished. And I'll put it back in where it goes. That one might be one I revisit on Friday and do a Friday flip through on it. Oh, we were doing these. Oh, I've got prompts. So I'm thinking this was an Inktober one year. 2020. This prompt was burnt orange and pumpkin. I'll just do a flip. But that was cider. Yep. And a leaf. Yeah, this had to be Inktober. Cool weather. Donuts. No? Or is it? Yeah. Donuts. Yellow. Hay rides. I don't know what this was for. It's American flag. But I'm wanting to say it was Inktober. Lips. Or nope, deep red was the lips. It's a plum and a wreath. And I bet that's, what is this supposed to be? Sweet potato. That one was a sweet potato. There's plaid. And I think I did pretty good on the plaid. And, can't do it. What is this one? Soup and bonfire. And I only made it to day 18, so I have no idea. Oh, that needs to go in with the images in that sketchbook. I think I need to make a folder for that sketchbook so that I don't lose those. This needs to go with the finished ones as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to list that one. These are card bases. I'll slide them down with the, I need to make something right now. Oh, isn't she pretty? She needs to go. Yeah, I need a folder for the images. Or an envelope or something. All right, guys. We just got this right here, which I think this is a journal that we made together. Let me look and see what it is. I've got all this extra here. This was all from a paper pad. And I think I still need to make tags for it. Tags and stuff. And I'm not sure my plans for that. That's not a pocket. It's just glued on it. This was made with file folders. And we made this together. Or I was following somebody else. But there's no note in here. I need to do, that needs to be something I do. Is make a note. This has got room for tags. Is this got, yeah, I could put a tag in there. I don't know. I'll go through and make tags for this. And this might be another giveaway. Just a little journal. And it's nondescript. I don't know what my plan was for it, just to do that, I guess. I don't know. I could maybe use it for something. Maybe use it for something for Greg. It's got all this travel stuff in it. He takes pictures, but my son is old school. He takes film pictures. And so I think maybe that's what I made this for. So I won't give it away. I'll make, yeah, this was that travel paper. I think I was making this to record Greg's trips for him. I don't know if he'd be interested in that or not. But that's just a journal in progress that I think we made together or something. If y'all remember when we made that. It's kind of a cool little journal. And it's made with the folders glued to each other. So it's not a hinge binding. You've got many books, but you've never put anything in them. And, you know, the people that I see that they're really good about, like when they're traveling, they'll pick up like business cards and maps. And I wish I was better at that. All right, guys. So that's my journal bins. So this is the big pot now. Here. So I could probably put, let's try this. I'm going to lift you guys up and do a little face-to-face before I sign off. I'm thinking, what if I turn these this way? Will the little ones fit next to them? And then I'll have this other bin for something else. And all of my journals will be in one place instead of two. Let's see. Because the larger ones of these, I'm going to put in the front there. And then these look like they'll fit going in the opposite direction this way. Oh, look at that. I definitely don't want to lose this. And the little quote journals. The little quote journals are the ones that I'd really like to have at hand. This needs to go with my Gina book, which I think I just put over there. But that gives me the little tub for maybe my something else. Something else. So now I only have one tub for active journals. Yay! I'll put it back over here. There we go. That's better. So I hope you guys didn't mind doing all of that with me. And I do have my binders down here for the bits and bobs, which is kind of like the flow books here. This can hold flows. The small box. I keep thinking there's got to be a better way to do the binders because they alligator out so much. I have 3 separate binders for bits and bobs now. Oh, Howard's caught Dad. He looks pleased with himself too.
He was in the dog bed.
He was in the dog's crate. All right, guys, I've kept you long enough. It's been almost 2 hours of me trying to sort through journals. So there you go. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. I did it. Yay.
I love 2 hours.
All right, guys, y'all take care. I think Scott and I are. Yes, if you haven't seen Roy's video from today on how to store bobbins, metal bobbins, you need to go watch it. It's really cool. Bye, guys.